This thing right here, it used to look like this. And this right here, well, it used to be one of those. And I'm in the garage doing things with them because I need to modify some equipment and I really don't feel like paying the money. So I got some scrap aluminum. Incidentally, I don't recommend using well, actually you can use road signs. However, I stripped those things down to the aluminum. That was a labor intensive process. Not going to say it was my most favorite thing to do. But now we have some bare aluminum. We've got our base. Stick around and find out what's next. Well, we've gone forward in time just a little bit. Father-in-law was over on Sunday. He gave me a hand with this. That's always nice working with him. I have a good time with the guy, and extra set of hands always helps. So we're gonna finish it up, and we'll show you what we got going on. Well, here we are. This is our sluice extension. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but I think it's gonna work. Clearly, I am not a master at putting caulking in things. You should see my bathtub. It looks like hell, but either way, should got those gaps filled with caulk. Should hold. I've got these little holes right here, so I'm gonna get some bolts. Actually, I'm gonna fill those with a bolt, caulk those down as well, so that way we don't have any water leaking through. My original plan, I don't know what I was thinking. I was gonna put that angle iron, so I've got it on the outside. I was gonna put it on the inside. It was gonna cover those holes. Wasn't gonna be a problem, but that wasn't gonna work. So this is how we're rolling with it. So we'll just put those bolts in. That'll cover it up. Fits in pretty nicely. So to hold it in, I'm going to drill. I've got two existing holes in this metal, so I'm going to drill through each side. We'll bolt it in that way. And then I'm going to take another piece of metal that I have, and I'm going to fabricate a little clamp that goes this way. I'll use these same bolts right here. That'll clamp that, hold that down. So as you can tell, so we riveted this up. I think those are about 3.5 inches is where we're at. Put these ones here in the back. So I know at some point I'm going to mount a header box on here. I'm probably going to drill those out and put something else in there like that. Probably end up using that hole to bolt that header box in. We'll see what we design when we build it. But yeah, that's our completed product. Not the prettiest, but it's going to do what we need it to do. All right, we're still cranking away on this sluice. So I don't know if you watched one of my earlier videos where I changed out the carpet and everything. I put in some V matting and some miner's moss. Had a few issues. Like, it's worked good. Actually, it worked great. I took a video of it. I'll be really honest with you guys. I've been really bad about filming some of my experiences this year. A buddy of mine's been coming out with me, and well, I'll be honest. I've been kind of getting into the moment more and just having fun, so I haven't really been using the camera. So the miner's moss and the V matting actually works really good. I found a couple pickers. Sadly, a gust of wind took those away from me. It was a disappointing day. So if you're on my Instagram page, there's some pictures of them. They were mercury covered. I don't know, it was just cool gold to find. It was a good time. But anyways, sluice is working really good, but there's been a few things that I needed to change. So I'll show you that real quick before we get into the rest of it. Okay, so I've got this. This is my clamp that holds down my V-matting. And as you can see, it sits up like that. It's got a nice little bend to it. So the bad thing is it's not tight on this V-matting. So when I'm working, that matting just starts pushing. It starts bubbling up and going with the flow, especially as it gets loaded up. So I cut a little piece of metal that fits up underneath there. And I just had it running loose, like it was fine, but it's more crap to lose while I'm out there working. Like I got enough parts between wing nuts, you know, washers and everything else. So I'm just going to drill this in. I got a couple holes marked. I'm going to put a couple rivets in there and make this one piece. And the rest of the stuff you see right here, we'll talk about that here in a minute. Yep, so there it is in all its glory. It's now one piece. So let's put it on and see if it works. All right, so we got this thing together. It is definitely not as pretty as I hoped it would be, but I think it's going to be functional. So let's check it out. Yeah, so we got a nice long spot to get our stuff in suspension. Oh, this is how it's held in. I just took an old piece of metal. I don't care. It's ugly. I really don't care. As long as the darn thing works, we'll be set. So got those with the rivets. I might actually just cut those back, clean that up a little bit. But uses the same bolt from this clamp. Got our little rivets on there, and that's actually holding down our V-matting really well. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Next thing is going to be, I'm going to get rid of these little Hungarian riffles. They don't do a good job, and I want to change out this expanded metal. I want to get something a little more, with a better profile, something that'll actually grab the gold. And then the next big thing, as you can tell by my parts sitting there, I'm going to figure out a header box for this. So yeah, there she is in all of her glory. One thing I did do, I'm going to build a stand for this at some point, I think. I'm going to put some legs on it. It's going to be another project. But I was also thinking about another impromptu stand thing for an area work, because it's going to be hard to get this thing in there and get it set up because it's so narrow. But that way, like if I got wood or metal across something like a piece laying this way, I'm a terrible filmer. I apologize too. That'll help grab that box and keep it in place. But anyways, there she is in all of her glory. Definitely ugly, but don't really care. We'll see if it works.